RTD Live Talk, Detroit's #1 YouTube talk show. Back at it again for a Thursday live stream. Looking forward to connecting as well as finding out what else is happening out here, what's on your radar, what's on your mind. My name is Mike, the host of Detroit's #1 YouTube talk show. Excited to kick it again with you guys. Looking forward to having some good back and forth. And when the phone lines open up, give me a call, 313-462-0027. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll acknowledge a couple people. Feel free to let me know where you're watching from. Any new viewers out there would love to acknowledge your presence. And then when the phone lines open up, we'd love to hear from you guys. I have about 5 or 6 articles to touch on, most of which are in response to the speech given by Pretender-in-Chief Biden last night, and how basically even the mainstream news is out here ripping him in regards to how destructive a lot of the suggestions and things he proposed for the new America that he's trying to recreate by basically destroying the old one and bringing in the new one with a bigger government and more relief, more stimulus, all that other stuff. So a lot of things to touch on. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that. And then also more stories than we can ever touch on. They have the Arizona audit going on right now, I believe, still. And so we're going to see how that pans out. And of course, there's always some, arguments from the left side as to how it's too late, you name it. So anyway, but we can dive into that. So let me check in via chat real quick, and then we will jump into it. We got JoJo, we got Victoria, we got Mr. Belvedere, we got Master Don, we got Jesse B, Mr. Belvedere from Fort Worth. How you doing, my friend? We got Charles from Atlanta, Timbo. We got Joe Will Win, Luke in the building, Philman. It says, I read an article saying that true national debt is $123 trillion. It doesn't surprise me. Outside of that number there, any number we're given at this current moment is what has been made public, which has been brought to the public's attention, i.e. the governmental stat sheets and the Bureau of Labor Statistics and all those entities that keep track of it. But the truth is, since the Federal Reserve has been since they've been created 113 years ago, we don't really know what the real number is. We just know what they tell us on the surface. So I would assume it's a lot greater than that. But even worse, total global debt denominated in dollars is close to 400 trillion. So add that 123 to that additional 270, and you got closer to, that 400 mark. So that's what's real, which of course it can't be paid back. So you know what comes next. So, all right, let me keep it moving. Got a couple calls. Give me a second. We got Pablo, we got Jesse, we got Charles. Says UK mint 22-pound gold coin today. Yeah, I saw that. I was definitely gonna touch on that. We got Cal Bataski from Bahrain, if I'm not mistaken. How you doing, my friend? Appreciate you for checking in with us. Let us know what's happening in Bahrain. Curious to always find out what's happening in the Middle East and as well as Europe and Asian region. So any viewers over there, feel free to let us know. But okay, so let me dive right in. I want to do some housework first, do a little house cleaning, and then we can jump into it. And so let me go back to the main pages here. Okay, and then I'm gonna just literally scan through the surface, touching on the headlines and then dive into it further. But anyway, rethinkingthedollar.com is the home base. Check it out for news, gold, silver, anything related to today's events is usually posted there. So check it out as a news source. And then for those that might be new to the community, I want to encourage you to test your dollar IQ. And I think right now, this current environment, a lot of people are suffering for what I call dollar cognitive dissonance, because they refuse to accept the fact that the Federal Reserve note can and will one day no longer be the reserve currency. And then on top of that, the ramifications for those that have banked their entire lives upon the word dollar. So there's going to be a rude awakening for those individuals. But if you're new to the community, I encourage you to test your dollar IQ and then follow the steps accordingly if you feel it's appropriate for you. But anyway, keep it moving. Patreon, for those that want to support the channel and then also be a part of the Hangouts. We had a great Hangout last night, about 2 hours of just some unfiltered talk, a good time with the community. So if you guys are interested, consider supporting the channel via Patreon, and you'll get the invite next week when we tip off, probably Wednesday evening. And then for those that are new to the community as well, I really want to encourage everybody to make sure you click the social media tab beneath this and then connect with all the RTD social tabs here, that, of course, the ones you're connected with. But Discord is the one, and Telegram is the one where you can share articles or whatnot and and vibe with the community. So, okay, so let me move right along. I want to jump right into it because this is a subject that's most relevant to me here in the great state of Michigan, but I want to definitely touch on it. So today, Governor Whitmer announced her Michigan VAC to normal, VAC to normal, VACC to normal. And then once again, it resembles the 4 or 5 step process that, of course, we've seen here in Michigan was about 9 months ago, 8 months ago when it came out with the phase 1, phase 2, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. I don't know what phase we're in now, but of course, because the jab stuff is out there now, they're linking the jab with normalcy. And so, according to the information released by her from her superiors, which are probably the swamp deep state elites or whatever they call, but it says today I announced the Michigan VAC to normal, a pathway to gradually get back to normal as we hit our targets and push toward our goal of putting them jabs in about 70% of Michiganders ages 16 and older. Please sign up for your jab appointment today. Let's get it done. And so I just wanted to basically just mention this because I'd assume if you're in a democratically led state, pretty soon it's going to be coming your way if it's not there already. But as of right now, we have 48.8%. And she's basically saying that once we get to 70%, then we go back to normal. Now, what the hell does that mean? It's a damn lie, in my opinion. But it's one of them things where it gives people a target to shoot for visually, as well as it gives them some media propaganda to shoot for, to hype people up and thinking that we can actually get back to a sense of normalcy. At the same time, overwhelming majority of people, after they see the side effects and the consequences of partaking in that type of stuff, they're not going to be going back for that second jab, which we're already seeing numbers, I think 8%, as I mentioned earlier. So once again, we're just not nowhere near step 1. And so heading into summer, people are going to disregard this type of stuff anyway, because more than likely, people who are not overly concerned, those who are relatively healthy, they're going to go about their normal day as always, and they're not going to be really thinking about going down to, participate in an experiment. So that's just my 2 cents, but I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. And then here is the subject matter of the evening. And so this is where I wanted to really touch on just the headline alone. So this is, the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal typically is a very left-leaning, liberal style, radicalist type of, organization. But it says Biden's economic plan would redistribute trillions and expand government. So at what point does, Wall Street Journal really come out bashing, somebody that they typically would be in favor of, because they damn sure wasn't in favor of Republicans or Trump back in the day. So this right here basically tells you what's up, how they can boldly come in front of you and tell you what's going to happen and basically say there's nothing you can do about it. So sit back and enjoy the ride. So, of course, and this is in response to his speech on how this is why I titled this, the dismantling of America. Like literally every relief bill moving forward is designed to float its way through the central bank, through the government's hands, and into the hand of corporations, to where they are the ones that are going to become the primary owners of everything. The billionaires, just like the last year when the markets crashed, the billionaires came out on top. Who do you think is going to get all the contracts for all these billions and building up this new infrastructure and building up this new green economy and removing carbon and all that other stuff they have planned? It's going to be the big corporations. Big tech is going to funnel it right through them. They're going to be promoting all types of stuff to get people hyped up. And if this guy, if he don't stop talking about jobs, he said, and I'm ranting, but he said, when I think of American infrastructure, I think jobs. He said jobs, 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 jobs. I'm thinking like, well, if I'm not mistaken, here in Michigan, because the government is over subsidizing people with more currency than they actually could use, people don't want no damn job. People are turning down jobs. Jobs is not what people were born to do. They were born to work, but not necessarily for a job. And here's another thing. I'm about to rant a little bit because this really pisses me off. But here's the thing about the current environment we're in now. They're preaching jobs. It's going to bring back jobs. And then on top of that, he's talking about trying to establish unions over every single corporation so that the jobs and the currency will be funneled through special interests in those unions, incentivizing people to work through a false sense of security in a union. It's not going to work, man. So here's what I would propose. This is, the Mike from RTD proposal. Instead of offering people jobs, offer them a piece of the pie, the big pie, like ownership type pie. Give people resources to create for themselves and not work for somebody else. And then I would imagine if you give people the information, the education they need to create for themselves and distribute it, be their own distributors to humanity, I'd imagine a lot of people will line up for that. but to offer jobs, no, people don't want that. So boo-hoo to you, dude. Anyway, that has just got under my skin. Forgive me. And so here's a little breakdown of what this actual plan looks like. So as of now, let me zoom in. And so the original graph came from a news source that I couldn't really get to, but this is what it looks like as of now. So based upon, this is phase 2 and phase 3. So we had the American Rescue Plan, which is the 1.9. The infrastructure plan is slated at 2.3, and then the families plan is 1.8. So that's a little, what is that? 4.1 trillion on top of the previous 1.9. That puts us at even 6. If I'm not, correct my math, but even 6 trillion within his first 100 days. So this dude is proposing, he's proposing 6 trillion his first 100 days. That's the first quarter, technically. So at this current rate, we're looking at 6 trillion every quarter. We're looking at a total of 4 times 6, $24 trillion. If this dude gets anything done similar to what he wants, and of course it won't go through because there'll be a little resistance, but he's going to get at least, half of that. So he'll probably get 3 trillion a quarter. And all those funds, they will make their way to big corporations. So the wealthier will get wealthier and the poor will get poorer. So we got buildings and utilities, a good chunk. We got transportation, in-home care, jobs, tax credits, IRS, child and family support, education. Right. Those, yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That might sound good to some, but it ain't. Anyway, here's another article here. It says inflation is now confirmed at 4.10. This is from Steen Jacobson, economist. I grabbed this off the internet. It says Fed is behind and is stuck in the employment agency narrative versus a realistic inflation accelerated about 4%. 200 basis points and then 250 basis point odds increased by 50 cents per day today alone. So here's a little calculation here done from the alternative media span. And so he's basically saying that at this current moment, we're already at 4% if you were to use, whatever metrics he's using. But then again, I'd imagine that's still extremely low in comparison to John Williams from StatStats that, already had us at 7, 8, 9, well before this additional 6, 7 trillion or 33% of the monetary base happening in a 12-month period. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a good shot. So basically, even if the Fed was semi-correct, they still have overshot their prior target of 2%. Whew, okay, here's another interesting article, which plays right into what I've been saying for the longest. It's just a relief to have the mainstream news sources now jumping on board with what I've been preaching forever. Weaponizing the dollar risk echo of sterling's decline, study says. So regardless of the sterling's decline, I mean, that's already bellied up. But just the words, weaponizing the dollar. That came out of my mouth maybe 2 years ago, for sure last year, in response to the immediate amount of stimulus that was brought into existence. But just the headline alone, weaponizing a dollar, it's a weapon that hurts who? People who save, people who invest, people who use it. And so that's one of the things where the shirt says, stimulus checks destroyed a dollar. A lot of people don't think so, but yet that is a part of the weaponization of the Federal Reserve note. So just a headline I wanted to share. And then here's something that another also caught my attention. And then on top of that, just give you some heads up, S&P 4,200, all-time high like never seen before. Dow 34,000. I think that's still an all-time high. NASDAQ 14,000. And crude oil $64. Gold, we can't get back to that $2,000 an ounce. And then silver $26 an ounce. Once we break 2,000 gold and $30 silver, they're gonna have some real issues because it's gonna be the race to try to dump paper. But just the headline alone, Biden-Powell duo seeks to define an error similar to Reagan and Volcker. It says seeks to define an error like Reagan and Volcker did. So, but the complete opposite. Reagan and Volcker were forced to fight inflation as a result of what happened in the 70s due to the reshift of the monetary system, the depegging from gold, the oil situation with Saudi, and you name it. And so here we now, Biden and Powell. Now they're not fighting to bring down inflation; they're fighting to get inflation up. By all this easy funds here. So here's a little interesting map here. It says U.S. debt service costs are historically low, though set to rise. So at this current moment, Uncle Sam's paying virtually zero on servicing the current debt. And if there was ever a chance where they were forced to raise rates, which at this current moment, I'm of the mindset that they can't, if inflation gets out of hand, they really are not in a position to raise interest rates, because that literally will implode the whole bond structure. The whole government bond structure will be belly up, because once again, who's going to be really looking to support a government that can't keep its stuff together? So, but anyway, so here's the interesting article from Mainstream News. Forget gold. There are better ways to play precious metals, according to one CIO. And it's all about silver. So when you have, the Mainstream News talking about silver, that's pretty big. It's because silver literally is a kryptonite to the banking cabal organization, because it is the most unique and important metal, both monetarily as well as industrial. And there's pressure on all the bullion banks, the dealers, you name it. Of course, today and every day should be get your weight up day. Hopefully you did that. I did for myself. And then another one here that I'll stop ranting. But here is a 22. Says giant gold coin weighs 22 pounds and took 400 hours to create. And so here's an interesting little diagram here of the UK Royals Mint. I guess this guy's actually carving this thing out. And just look how thick it is. That's a nice, hefty boy. That boy is huge. So that's literally the epitome of getting your weight up. Like one of those, do you good sitting in your vault. All right. So next one here, then I'm going to start ranting, open the phone lines. And so this was shared inside of the Discord by Daryl. Appreciate you, my man. So as always, for those that are tuning in, become a member of the Discord so you can share articles and get ahead of what's out there, because we share articles on every subject matter, from just music videos to fun stuff, you name it. But it says Ripple planning for IPO after settling his XRP lawsuit. And so my immediate response to this was, man, this is going to be great news for the crypto space in general. And you better believe XRP, everybody's been waiting on XRP. This is going to be it if it comes to pass. I expect, $5, $10 XRP. And then at that point, I think the whole, altcoin space is going to really go for a ride as well. So, but anyway, so that's what I have on the surface, man. I just wanted to do a little rant real quick, check in. So phone lines are open, people. Let's talk. Give me a call. Anybody got thoughts? Feel free to highlight at Rethinking the Dollar. It'll stand out. And then I will definitely jump on it and we can talk about it. So have at it, people. Let me hear from you guys. Luke says, Mike Maloney just posted about silver. Yeah. And so, and that's the thing, like at this current moment, everybody in the alternative media space understand the importance of silver. If you've been paying attention to the destruction of this country over the last several decades, you realize that they've been trying to keep you from paying attention to sound money, i.e. the advent of this digital asset space at the same exact time they need to transition us to a digital currency, for the sake of a more efficient and effective payment method, but ultimately to really come out with a surveillance coin beyond this one right here. So everything's lining up right on time. Everything is lining up perfectly according to the way that they see fit. And while I'm waiting on it to hear from somebody, let me actually pull something from the Discord that somebody shared earlier that I think is a good symbol of what ultimately all this will look like. But let me get this call. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, calling from Oakland. How you doing, brother?
TB, doing good, my man. What's up with you?
Oh, nothing, man. I'm trying to tell everybody I know nothing about crypto, but I read a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm fighting with people in Discord, and I don't want to fight with people, man. I could be wrong as two left shoes.
So what you fighting about?
No. What I was called in for was, would you agree that we have either a runaway horse or, say, a dead horse?
You said a dead horse or a runaway horse?
Here's what we're working with: either a runaway horse, or a dead horse.
Okay. Anywhere it go, the horse is going to die if it's not dead already. So, but share with me your thoughts on that analogy. Go ahead.
Okay, on a runaway horse, the Fed thinks that they can revive it.
Okay.
So they'll allow the runaway horse in food, energy, gas, lumber, but they don't count.
Right.
That's why they don't see it.
Okay.
and on the dead horse side, it's just it's dead. You can't resuscitate that. They're banking on that they have this horse run away and get the inflation that they need, and they can reel the horse back in. But like I know, if they get too much of a runaway horse, you ain't gonna be able to hold him down.
Yeah, and I think the problem with a dead horse or a runaway horse is all denominated in a currency that is already has already been rejected overall, because it's the entire central banking, debt-based concept is ran its course. So you can't revive it and you can't prolong it, just because eventually people will catch on, and the last thing they want is for people to catch on and to revolt and come after them. So they're going to try to, I think, string this thing along as they can and give them time to usher out something so-called new, so that people don't completely go bananas, because with prices skyrocketing, there's no way you can continue to deny that food is through the roof and oil, gas, everything's through the roof, but yet it's still transitory. It's still, you still can't really find it. So it won't work for long. And this last press conference from yesterday showed that a lot of those journalists were like, they were nitpicking at him, and, it made them nervous. You know what I'm saying? So if we get some real journalists in there after this next press conference, they start hitting him for real, they're gonna mess around and cancel those little post FOMC meeting interviews. Watch.
No, they give you words like inflation. They give you words like transitory. Transitory is a dismissive statement. There's no meaning behind it. Either you have inflation or you don't. There's nothing transitory about it.
Right.
So it's a dismissive statement, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's transitory." Yeah. Me walking across the street getting hit is transitory too. But no, I mean, we have to look at this the way it is. It's a forced inflation. We are fighting deflation, and it's a inflation by them pumping money into the system.
Yeah.
And not only that, they give you an alternative. Guess what the alternative is? Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, have at it. Like they're saying, and the fact they're allowing all these analysts, economists, and all these people to come on and say, they're literally saying the dollar's dead. They're destroying the dollar. What are you going to do? Let your balance sheet melt like ice, or you're going to put it in something secure and it's unmutable and it's trustworthy and get you some Bitcoin hashtag. I'm like, what the hell? Like, for real? Like, okay, sure, that sounds like a good setup to me, but it's where we going, man.
This is the Bitcoin's the new money.
Yeah, that's what they want.
They give you that sort of stuff. They give you all that, and then they got other countries that are backing that, so people are believing in it, because you got this, you got the Asian countries, you got this country, you got that country. Not everybody's in this.
Yeah, everybody's on board, man.
That the U.S. has got underneath their belt, and they can pull a string and say, India, you got COVID.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And then China, meanwhile, you and I both know it's the QR code with China. Something simple, something that can be used. That's why they just going digital. Here's my QR code. Take what you need, and everything's settled. It's not no big I need a wallet here. I need something there. I need. No, it's not like that in China.
Yeah, man. But
you even got a QR code on your phone. They're just waiting to turn it on.
I don't doubt it. And that's why,
Look, your contacts, every single contact person you have has a QR code in their phone.
Yeah.
Right beside their name.
Yeah. And that's by design, man. Hey, appreciate you calling, man.
Have a good day.
Be good.
Bye.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good to hear from you, TB. All right, man. Give me a call. Let me hear some new voices. Who was out there bold and courageous enough to call in? Just check in with us, say hello, or let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. There's a plethora of subject matter we can touch on. We don't have to stick to the stuff on the surface. It's, let your voice be heard. So if you got a little rant you want to get off your chest, what better time to do it than right now? Just keep it relatively short. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you get your rant on, because everybody has an opinion about something that's being done to us or around us or for us. This is your time to let it be heard, man. Why not? Let it out. All right, let me see here. Check in real quick. I see some paragraphs out here. It says, once the markets fall this time, and I expect it to be a big fall, it wouldn't be last much crash, March, metals. Okay, that's a long one. I'll let you guys read that one. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. It's Dan from New Jersey. What's going on, brother?
And from New Jersey. I'm doing good, my friend. What's up with you?
All right. Listen, when China rolls out this digital yen, and give you back by code, the world's going to be forced to follow in the footsteps. That's all I'm saying.
Now, you think that the digital yuan, when it's officially available to all the Chinese citizens, they're going to on an international stage, back it by gold.
I truly believe so. Yes, that's why they're stacking up all that gold.
Yeah.
Listen, Biden's a puppet, right? Biden's just taking out all this debt or whatever right now, right?
Yeah.
Printing. China sitting back. You don't hear a peep out of them.
Yeah.
What you think they doing stacking all this gold? They can't run the world, Mike.
But watch this. Also, I think it was 2017 I was talking about it, but the Shanghai oil futures is redeemable. Those contracts are redeemable in gold. So the gold was a part of the equation for the oil futures 4 or 5 years ago. So people who deal with that particular exchange over there, they could have already exchanged oil for gold. So it's already a part of the equation. And so I think it's more important to have probably the gold oil peg to do business with China type of things as well. But I don't see them doing the digital yuan because that's domestically for the citizens and those that do business on a commercial side. I think between governments, you're going to have to show what's in your vaults to establish trust amongst themselves for the interoperability of their interbanking policy type, SWIFT system, CHIP systems, Russia system. I think they're going to try to connect all the payment structures together, and gold will probably back that. But I don't think they're going to allow citizens to, exchange that digital yuan for a gram or gold or nothing like that. But yeah, I could be wrong.
Hey, let's just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Double-ish times, man. That's it.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is between now and then, continue to get your weight up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I'm stacking on the silver. Believe me.
Hey man, I appreciate you for calling in, man.
All right, take care.
Be good. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, so here's one of my biggest concerns, that when we get into when the transition period arises and CBDCs are common language and people are actually doing stuff on their phones, because it's a surveillance coin type of process, they're going to be. So here's another thing. Okay. So let me go here. So I was watching Glenn Beck yesterday, and he did a report based upon how in Europe they already are setting up the new international corporation standard. It's something called ESG, similar to the what's the international what is it? It's an international standard that all companies have to comply with. It's like not FINRA, but I can't think of it. But it's a new governing structure entity type of situation that you have to qualify to be a part of it. It's a part of the whole green carbon print. You got to have. You can't, you can't have so much, carbon emission coming from your restaurant, your store, and all that type of stuff. And if you don't participate, then you can't interact in the commerce internationally. And so, long story short, a part of that new system, ESG, which is being rolled out in Europe right now, all U.S. corporations will have to comply with that new Green Deal global carbon reduction plan. And so, as a result of that, every business will have an ID tag, a QR code, and it's going to be categorized down to the very last employee because they all got to sync up to that system. And as a part of that system, every single transaction you do on your QR code, your Fed coin, the Brit coin, whatever the coin is, when you go to whatever store you choose to go to, they have to be registered with that new carbon neutral entity, whatever. So when you scan your code, on the Federal Reserve's distributed ledgers, it's private and secret. They see that you, the individual, at 12:25 was at Little John's Deli, and then they can see that like you got 2 sandwiches, you got a Coke and a cookie. I mean, that's how detailed the transaction will be when it comes down to the finite nature of what they're going to be able to see. And they'll be able to track your calorie intake, your how many steps you took that day type stuff. Like, so you see where this is going. So my point is, when and if we get to that point, you will not be able to probably legally, or, you're going to have some issues, come tax time, because that's going to be deducted automatically from your, app. And so imagine having a transaction with an unauthorized dealer who's not a part of the ESG, global one world, carbon emitting corporation sector crap. If you have an illegal transaction, which means you sold some gold or sold some of your silver to a coin shop that, a low budget mom and pop shop, they just been doing cash for 30 years, they low key, but they legitimate business. Everything was good up until this new carbon-free world we're entering in. And it shows that you have a transaction where you got funds from them or you sent funds to them or whatever, and it wasn't registered to where they couldn't see how many ounces you sold or how many ounces you bought. It's going to get flagged, and you're going to get a text message saying, alarm. Is this, money laundering? Is this, false ID? Is this, what do they call it? Is this, terrorism? Are you funding terrorism? And they're going to suspend your account. Blam. And then you're going to have to go back and show proof. Somehow, some way, you're gonna have to hold your phone up, take a picture of whatever it is you purchased, along with the receipt or something like that. Submit it into the FedCoin ledger. Then they'll get back with you 24 hours and tell you, okay, it's approved or it's not. If it's not approved, you will not be able to log back into your account until you iron that out. Or if it's approved, now they know that mom and pop shops doing illegal coin activity out the back door, and they're coming for them. You know what I'm saying? You see where that's going. So I say all that to basically lay out that once you exchange your Federal Reserve notes in its current environment now, this relatively crazy but still stable, and you get your weight up, by 5 years from now or so, you're not going to be able to go back to your typical store and just be able to get, the Fed coin deposited to your app, because cash is, by that time, cash might be scarce, rare, or they're going to do like Venezuela. They'll give you a couple month period to turn it back in, redeemable for the new digits on your app. So cash will be gone at some point. So point in case is, between now and that time, we meaning the very smart individuals out there, need to figure out how to create tools for ourselves to be able to interchange and interact with one another. Of course, you got the decentralized cryptocurrencies, proof of stake, privacy coins, sure. But I'm saying from a metal standpoint that establishes trust, real tangible, real token trust. Okay, so I ran it too long for that, but forgive me. But you see, hopefully you guys kind of see what I suspect might be down the line, to where it won't be fun whatsoever, trying to do business in a world where every transaction on your phone will be tagged, and if they don't like what they see, if it's too much activity at that one spot, they're gonna say, yeah, something must be going on. And of course they can see it, and that's where this is going, man. Whew, okay, I feel better now. I ran it a little bit. Let me see. Okay, so give me a call. Phone lines are open. I'm curious to hear what's going on. Okay, here's something else. And so I came across this earlier, and I put this in the Discord. So once again, a plug for the Discord. We got 177 people watching. Hit the thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. Hopefully the algorithms notice that people do enjoy this content, and they might, notify the other, almost 30,000 people that signed up or to hit subscribe. But it's beside the point. But here it says the IRS wants help hacking cryptocurrency hard wallets. So, in any other environment, just the idea of the IRS wants help hacking, that would be considered illegal. It'd have been shunned by the far right. Even the left would have said, no, that's illegal. That's infringing upon people's private property, like, search and seizure type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yet now you can have an article where the IRS can actually get funding from the government to figure out, how they can get into people's wallets. Like, and I guess it's supposed to be legal. Like, so can somebody let me know? Is it illegal for a three-letter word to hack your wallet? Like, take your private property from you type of thing. And so what about that was on the reverse? The IRS wants help coming up with a computer tracking system to notice, to try to find out how much weight you have, how much silver and gold you've collected. Or, what I'm saying? Like, that's the same type of stuff there, like an infringement of your rights, of your property. That's what's going on nowadays. So I don't know how valid this is, but it's just, the subject line, at this current moment, anything goes. So it's not like it's too far-fetched, even if the story was made up, but you get my drift. But yeah, man, it goes on and on and on. Anyway, let's keep it going. All right. Rolf says, who are China and Russia attacking in wars? So Rolf, I know you've been facetious with that one, because they don't attack nobody. They mind their own business. They're just preparing. Like, China and Russia are probably the two biggest preppers, the two biggest prepping nations on the face of the earth. They've been prepping faithfully since 2020. Like, I've done, I showed visual aids throughout the years of how China and Russia, since the formation of the BRICS in 2013. And let me do something real quick. Let me show y'all something. This is something that as I try to better formulate my particular message as to how I want to try to reach the unaware. Of course, for those that might be new to the community, I mentioned, take the dollar quiz. It's a start. And so I noticed that in the community, the average for those that are awake and aware is about 67% from what I see on the back end. But it's still, for those that have no clue as to what's going on, it's still below 50%, closer to 40%. But here's something I want to pull up real quick that I haven't. So, one thing I love doing, I've enjoyed it forever. I love doing visual aids, i.e. infographics. And let me acknowledge the super chat real quick before I get behind myself. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Okay, so I appreciate the love offering, the thunder sound. It says they have a mandate to convert all DDA accounts to blockchain type wallets. They will have all that data. Oh, the thunder sound. So yeah, so you got some inside information, man. So once again, DDA accounts. So think about this. Any and all of your personal data, social media, your health information, your hobbies, your dislikes, right now as we speak, all the algorithms on those free platforms, they're studying us. Every tweet, every news feed, every time you scroll, if you're on Instagram, you pause for a quick second, and if you look over, and if you it happens to me all the time. Let me know if it happens to you. If you happen to be scrolling Instagram or Twitter and you pause on a sponsored ad for 2-3 seconds, whether you're looking at it or you just got distracted or not, you keep scrolling. From that moment on, you're going to get all types of those of similar ads of that same thing that your screen stopped on for a quick second or two. That's how the algorithms are learning who you are, who we are. And those are the algorithms that are being trained and taught to learn us better than we know ourselves, to always market to us. And, you guys know I'm not too far-fetched, but there is a software company out of Louisiana. I forgot the name of it. We talked about it months ago, that has developed what is called predictive behavioral analysis or something like that, where basically it's like, the Minority Report type stuff, where they can predict if you're likely to commit a crime ahead of time. So that's how real the software is. And of course, the government funded it. And of course, it's it's being used in certain regions as a part of their test trial, whatnot. So computer algorithms, this blockchain stuff was not by accident. I tell you that. Okay, so I'm ranting. Forgive me. Okay, so here's something I want to encourage you guys. So 195 people tuned in. I'm ranting too much, but phone's not ringing, and you know how I do it. Hit the thumbs up button. Show your love for the channel. That'll help. And then, this is where I need help. It's like I can rant all I want, but I think I'm sharing information that's relevant. Everything around me is about our financial system in some capacity. This right here being the most alarming, because people are still holding on to Federal Reserve notes as if it holds value, and it doesn't. Let me show you something real quick. Okay, I got more stuff coming like always. Watch this, because I was thinking about doing a rant, but I'll save myself, and I'm going to get ready to dial back after I share 2 more articles, but not articles, but just for those that think I'm full of hot air, if there are any out there, this is what you do. And I'm gonna probably do a video on this at a different time, but just so I can validate how worthless a Federal Reserve note is. If you go to treasury.gov, the United States Department of Treasury, that's basically Uncle Sam's accounting department. They run our financial matters, supposedly. And if you go to the Resource Center, you click on frequently asked questions, and then you click on currency, it'll take you to this page, which talks about legal tender. Okay. So what is that, Mike? Let me zoom in for you guys, because I think this is important, but unfortunately, unless you go looking for this stuff, you may not really see it. Okay. So if you scroll down to where it says, why are United States notes and how are they different from the Federal Reserve notes? Okay. Actually, it's above that one. Let me see here. Where's it at? And so it's just a little something here that really should make you wonder. Let me see where I can find it. Okay, so here's something. This is an explanation of what are Federal Reserve notes and how are they different from the United States notes. Okay, last paragraph. Federal Reserve notes are not redeemable in gold, silver, or any other commodity and receive no backing by anything. It's supposed to be a period there, but they forgot the period. It says, this has been the case since 1933, period. The notes have no value. The notes have no value for themselves, but for what they will buy. And so here's the thing. It says, finish off, it says, in another sense, because they are legal tender, Federal Reserve notes are backed by all the goods and services in the economy. So they have no value of themselves, but what you can buy with them when it's time to go spend them. And so, this goes to my point. As you guys can see here, over the last 108 years, we purchase less and less and less to the point where we are already sub-zero. Because this is how you can tell we're sub-zero. When Woodrow Wilson was in office, where were we at? Or signed it into law, $1 was the equivalent of a half day's work or a full day, depending on what sector you're in. And you look today, where now, what can you buy with $1? Nothing. Worst case scenario, it's in Michigan, it's 6 cents tax. So you're gonna need $1.06, which means you got to now go into your stash and bring out another part of another dollar above that $1 mark. So we're already at the point where the dollar is not worth nothing, and we're witnessing inflation. They can't find it, but yet a Federal Reserve note is only good for what you can buy when you go down or you try to give to somebody. How much of whatever it is you need can you get? And so basically, the Federal Reserve note, as it says here, it says it's Federal Reserve notes are backed by all the goods and services in the economy. That's what gives a Federal Reserve note, aka the dollar, its current value. It's what you can get for it when you try to give it to somebody else. And as time moves forward, you will get less and less for your buck, is what I'm getting at. But anyway, last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end off with this. And this is an opportunity for you guys to help me out. This is where I need help. I need help, people. I need to try to wake up those that are asleep at the wheel, those that are suffering from dollar cognitive dissonance. I got a video on that coming tomorrow. I got 5 areas that people need to watch out for. I'm gonna drop that tomorrow. So here's something, a visual I did, 4 or 5 years ago. But if you go to rethinkingthedollar.com/dollarcation, and so that's my little slogan. I'm about to really try to ramp it up because for those that may not know, a couple years ago I was actually out in the streets trying to share information, and so this is one of the infographics I put together, and just to show you what it's about. If you click the link here, you get instant download. But this is a visual aid I put together, which I think is probably the most comprehensive, quick summary of everything to do with the dollar. And so, it just, it took me forever, but the study of the dollar, the impact on we the people. So it gives statistical numbers, time frames, coinage acts. So, okay, I can go on forever, but it's very thorough. And I even went out to 2020 because I initially did this in 2016, I think. And so I talked about, of course, where's it at? No, on an updated version, I put Bitcoin in there. But anyway, so I encourage you guys, get this visual aid, look it over, prove me wrong, share it with some family and friends, get it out there, help me out. So that being the case, people, I'm dialing back because I ran it too long. But it was always great to connect with you guys. If you've enjoyed it, as I mentioned, hit the thumbs up button. And what would be a blessing is if more of the community members were willing and wanting to share these videos. So basically hit the share tab, put it on your social media, and let your family and friends see it. And if they find it interesting, cool, they'll come join us. They'll get educated, and then we can get more of a greater chance of reaching more people the more that we can share these videos. And then, of course, like the Bible says, many are called, but few are chosen. Not many are going to accept it. Not many people want it because of the dollar cognitive dissonance I'm going to talk about. So that'll help me out. And I think, it'll help you as well play your part, because you're awake and aware. If you were asleep at the wheel, I would assume that you would want somebody to come tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, go check out this crazy guy from Detroit talking about the dollar. See what he's talking about, man. And if it resonates, cool. If not, turn the channel. It's all fine and good. No harm, no foul. Anyway, I feel lighter. I got a little rant out. I feel lighter. I do feel lighter. Super Seamster Sewing Show says, you're a cold dude, Mike. Get that uranium weight up. Hey, man, I appreciate the love. Thank you for the blessing. And, anything on a periodic table, man, if you can get your hands on it, you'd be better off than holding a whole stash of these things right here. That's, at this current moment, as we just saw, The Treasury themselves said that they have no value of themselves other than what you can buy when it's time to go spend them. So we will keep it moving. Check phone and super chat. Okay, Tone, my phone ain't rung. Super chat I did get. I think I got them all. Okay, so that's all she wrote, people, because you know me, I can go on and on forever, but I'm not. So we're going to keep it at that. What's the phone number? Phone number is right over my shoulder right here. 313-462-0027 is the phone number. I see, I'm not sure. It looks like somebody new to the field there. So give me a call if you want to real quick. If not, I'm going to try to be back tomorrow, same time, same place. And who knows? I feel like I may have another rant on me. So I might try to live stream again later on tonight with another rant. So Ann Arbor has some good weed. Okay, William. All right, people. But anyway, that's all she wrote for me, man. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I promise you this time I'm going to hang up on you. So, but yet, let's keep it again. Let's do it again, man. Tomorrow, Lord willing, be blessed, be safe. And see you guys later. Peace.